Of the details is founder and president Roberto Hernandez. Roberto, thank you so much for joining us on Live in the Bay.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. So awesome having you here today. For those of our viewers who may not know what the Lowrider Council is, give us some insight.
So I started the Lowrider Council 41 years ago and united all the solo lowriders, and those are individuals who just cruise by themselves, and car clubs, and brought everybody together to really begin to address the inequity of being able to cruise in San Francisco without being harassed by the police. Because across in San Francisco, in the Sunset District, you had all the white kids who were racing for pink slips, and they never got harassed. And we were going low and slow, and how can you harass somebody that's going low and slow, you know? But, you know, the argument there was that, you know, we're causing a traffic jam, which it was. There's like a parade every Friday and Saturday night. But that's part of our culture. That's part of us.
Yeah, that's part of who you are. Like you said, the culture, which you can't change the culture, you know? No. The culture is who you are.
Yeah, and so, you know, during those times, it was, you know, as Latinos, you know, we dress a certain way, you know, wear Pendletons, you wear Dickies, and, you know, and a lot of times it was viewed as gang members or drug dealers. They gotta be selling drugs to have these nice cars, when, you know, everybody's got a day job, you know, and everybody's, you know, saving up their money to build a lowrider, which costs a lot of money. You know, back then, you know, they were much more affordable. Today, they're very expensive due to the fact that, you know, you got the technology for hydraulics is just like, you're talking about $3,000 to $5,000 just on a hydraulic set.
Wow.
You can spend about, you know, $1,500 to $3,000 on your sound system alone, right? And then the upholstery, and then the paint job, and then all the rechroming of, you know, the parts in your car. You know, you can run, you know, easily from $20,000 to, you know, $100,000. So you got to work. You know, I call it, you know, to have a lowrider. People say, I want a lowrider. I said, well, you need time, love, and money.
Yeah, time, love, and money. Well, for those of our viewers who may not know what a lowrider is, can you tell us exactly what a lowrider is and why it's important in your culture?
It's an art form. It's a Chicano Latino art form that started in LA, as you know, as people, and basically it's modifying a car, and most of the lowriders are, you know, from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, a few maybe from the 70s, but it's these classic antique cars that we have flipped into pieces of art. And so you'll never find the same lowrider that looks like another one. They're just completely different. And when you create this piece of art, it's like the vision you have in your mind, your heart, your soul, and your spirit, you know. So, you know, and the ones that I've created is like, I knew the kind of art that I wanted on there. I knew the look that I wanted. I knew the style that I wanted, from the tires to the rims. You know, some lowriders have airbags, some are operated off of batteries, you know. Then you got the upholstery, just the upholstery itself. Do you want to go with leather? Do you want to go with cloth? You know, so there's all these details that go into creating a lowrider. And the whole, you know, movement of lowriding is that you cruise very slow, not 200 miles an hour like the bird, you know,
Different in that way.
that we just heard about, right? You know, you go 5 miles an hour and you're playing your, you know, whether it be your oldies, your rancheras, or your salsa or cumbia music, and you're blasting it, and then, you know, you have people that just like, the first thing they do is they want you to hit the switches. That's what this means, you know. You know,
that means hit the switch?
Yeah, you know, and it's very popular, you know, people wanting to, you know, take photos and you know, but the most important thing about lowriding for us in our community is that we are part of a social cultural movement. So we've been part of, you know, toy drives, you know, collecting toys every year. We take toys to children who can't come out, who are disabled, as an example, right? And we show up to your house with gifts right before Christmas, you know, and these,
beautiful.
you know, and then we, you know, we do, we're part of the Mission Food Hub. We helped start that. We, you know, did home deliveries to seniors, and you can just imagine an elder, you know, waiting for you at your door, which you show up with the lowrider and you bring groceries,
Yeah.
you know, and
Just breaking those stereotypes and those barriers, and like, we are more than just this. This is a form of art.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we use the art also to, you know, raise money. We raise money for example, John O'Connell High School every year for Cinco de Mayo. And then, of course, you know, we just were in the Warriors parade. We've been in the Giants, you know, championship parade, the Niners parade. We've been part of the, you know, the Golden Gate 75th anniversary. So we're like, you know, socialites, you know, and now, you know, it's changed from, you know, 40 years ago where we were these like outlaws, and now it's like, it's embraced, and lowriding now is worldwide. I mean, in Japan. I mean,
in Japan?
Yeah, in Japan.
Wow.
They have, their lowrider magazine actually is bigger than ours. And it's really popular. In fact, they're always trying to buy our cars over here, you know.
But you guys have an event coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Saturday. So Saturday is our annual King of the Street, and that's a competition for who can hop the highest. And there's 4 different categories. And the fun part about that is that when we first started 40 years ago, if you can get the rulers were like 12 inches, right? And if you can get, you know, up 12 inches, you were the man.
You're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I mean, the actual lowriders like come, I mean, to the bumper. I mean.
So it's so much different. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing it this weekend. So thank you so much, Roberto, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for having us on.
To learn more about